Come update my bookish bingo with me. I've got the stickers ready to go. First off, you can find my other video about my bookish goals for the year here, but you can watch that after this. Since making that video, I actually made this beautiful little bookish bingo board. Not gonna lie, I made this 2 days ago. It is June and I'm obsessed with it. This will be my first time really going through and even thinking about, have I read any of these? Because I didn't have this on my wall yet, I just printed it. Now it's visual. It will help me remember to refer to it. This isn't make or break, but it's just some things I want to dabble in. This is a 5x5, so there are 24 plus a free one in the middle. The goal is not to complete all 25, it's just to get as many as I can. This is available for you to edit as you wish for your own bookish goals. In my description below is where you can find the link. I've read Out of the Mirror Darkness by Garth Nix and The Candles Are Burning by Veronica G. Henry, both of which are in the Into Shadow collection, about sort of dark entities within fantasy in short stories. The 6 Deaths of the Saint is another book that is in that series that's the one that's really well received. I've also read My Sister the Serial Killer, which I love. I still have to do a proper review on that, and I feel like I'm wearing the right color because it has green on the cover. I read Half-Assed Human by Lena Norms, which is a sort of environmentalist take on self-help and going against capitalism and perfectionism. I've read Atalanta by Jennifer Saint, which is another of her Greek myth retelling books that I liked the most. I actually loved Atalanta as opposed to Electra and Ariadne, her other books. And she's got a few more that she's released since Atalanta that I want to read. I read Mermaid Atlas, which was an anthology of information about mermaids, beautiful illustrations, love it. I read These Violent Delights, which I was really highly anticipating. Alas, I did not love it as much as I hoped I would, about 2 boys who commit a murder and are weirdly obsessed with each other. I've got a whole book review about it if you'd like to watch, with a spoiler and spoiler-free section. Mockingbird Court by Juno Black, which is the last book in the Shady Hollow cozy mystery animal character series. Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, which is a historical romance drama about a woman grieving her son, feeling herself being torn by her love for her husband and her love for her old flame, who comes back to the small town of Dorset where they live. The Orange Poetry Collection by Wendy Cope. A Will to Kill by R.V. Raman. A Will to Kill takes place in the beautiful mountains of India and is about a wealthy man who invites all his family to his home, thinking that someone's going to try to murder him, so why would you invite them all? He has 2 wills prepared, and which one comes into action depends on how he dies. Then I read You and the sequel, Hidden Bodies by Carolyn Kepnes, based on, the basis for the You TV show, which I did watch all the way through first, and then I listened to these audiobooks. Those are all the books that I did finish so far. Now on to bingo. Now quickly about how I am approaching the bingo board is I'm trying to just have 1 book per square. So for example, for a fantasy, I have read Atalanta by Jennifer Saint, which is also a Greek myth retelling, so it has fantasy elements of gods, goddesses, bits of magic, transformation. So even though it is a fantasy, I kind of just want to make it fit the Greek myth retelling square. I haven't read a fantasy. Do you know what I mean? We'll get into that. I'ma put a sticker on Greek myth retelling. Can you tell? It's a little bit, oh, I don't like where I stuck that. It's a little clumsy and crowded in that corner, but that's fine. Who cares? Let's go through, shall we? Read 24 books. I have not yet. I've read 13. I'm on track. That's basically 2 a month. No stress for me. Have I read a classic? No, I have not actually read a classic this year so far, which is kind of surprising, but also not. Have I read a fantasy? Well, I have read The Mermaid Atlas, which I'm gonna put down as a fables and folklore star because it is. Hooray. Because Atalanta and Mermaid Atlas both were 2 other categories. Technically, I haven't read a straight up fantasy. Have I read a thriller? Yes, I did read A Will to Kill. I would not consider it super thrilling. However, it counts as a category, all right? It counts. I have not read a Nordic noir. I've read Broken Country, which I guess is historical fiction. It's set in the 1960s, but I feel like that setting is not super historical. There wasn't that much reference, so I'm not gonna count that. I have not read a fairy tale retelling. I have not read a non-Greek myth retelling yet. And when I say Gothic trifecta, what I refer to is Dracula, Frankenstein, and Rebecca, which to me are the Gothic trifecta. If anyone wants to use Gothic trifecta, please refer to me. One of my stars has a weird mess on it. I have not yet read a book with vampires, witches, or wait, mermaids. No, okay, I already made that count for fables and folklore. I can't use it again. But there are some other books I would like to read that are mermaid story novels. I've got a list in my phone. Have I read a book with a haunted house? I mean, A Will to Kill did have a bit of allusion to the grounds of the mansion and the estate being haunted, but not really, not in the way I'm thinking of. Have I borrowed a book from the library? I put one on hold, but I ended up listening to the audio because it didn't come in time for me to read the physical from the library. But I've put multiple on hold for this month of June. So I'm going to count that. Even though I haven't gotten them yet, I have still, yes, borrowed from the library. Hooray. Oh, I've got a diagonal happening. Look. That's exciting. Have I annotated a book? No. I've written a lot of notes about books that some for some great reasons and for some very not great reasons. Have I read any translated fiction? No, I don't believe so based on what I'm looking at. Non-fiction books about women? No, because I do want to read some books about women in history in regards to witchcraft in history, like witch trials, really interest me. I have not read an Agatha Christie this year, and I have not read a Jane Mingus book this year either. She has written now a lot of books. She has a YouTube channel I'll put down. For like a decade I've watched her videos. She is a real inspiration to me because she has her particular interests and she's made a career out of them. She's done a podcast, she's got her YouTube channel, she's written books, both fiction and non-fiction. She does author events, and I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting as well, but I'm like, damn, such a cool life. She's mythology obsessed and so am I. I want to read some of her books that I have not read yet because I own multiple of her books. And of course I have read some too, which are fabulous. Next up, I've got two specific books I wanted to read, one of which was Shady Hollow, which I have read, the last and final 6th book in the series, which is so sad because I just love it. I feel like I need to make a dedicated video because I talk about it all the time. Then I've also got another book I really wanted to read this year, which was Half-Assed Human, which I pre-ordered from Lena Norms, who is another wonderful YouTuber, fabulous human, and also very knowledgeable, intelligent, creative, out-of-the-box human. I've again followed her for a long time. I've met her in real life too at an event that she organized years ago when I lived in London. There was a viewing of Persuasion. People could come dressed up if they wanted to, and she did, of course. You brought along any period products that you wanted to donate, and I think they were donated to schools, low socioeconomic areas. It was a really great way to do something fun but also do good with it. So she's a cool person. My phone cut out because apparently my iPhone storage was full, so I don't know what I was up to saying. I think I was talking about Half-Assed Human. Great book, recommend, especially if you want to better yourself and the planet and the world from an environmental point of view as well as a personal expression kind of point of view. And then my last one is DNF, a book I have successfully done multiple times. My Bookish bingo currently has, out of the 24 available squares, I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, which isn't bad, so that's fun. Again, this is available if you look below, link below. Should we have a quick look at my StoryGraph stats? Because I feel like that will have more in detail information. I've read 13 books, over 2,000 pages, and 36 hours of listening, because I have listened to a decent amount of audiobooks this year actually, and started listening to fiction audiobooks, whereas usually I just listen to non-fiction on audio because I like it more a lot of the time. Average time to finish 14 days. Mostly mysterious books. I've read 8 mysterious books, followed by dark, tense, and a bit of light-hearted. Mostly medium to fast-paced books. Meanwhile, most audiobooks have been longer than 8 hours, so more fiction than non-fiction, which I figured. And then genres. Okay, so yeah, quite a few thrillers and literary. What counts as literary to them? That's what I want to know. My Sister the Serial Killer, Broken Country. Okay, I mean, sure. Literary is such a weird name in a way for categories, but I get it. Contemporary, my least favorite genre usually, although I loved this book, My Sister the Serial Killer, as you can tell by my 5 stars. Okay, let's go back. Format, mostly print. On my Goodreads, I don't really care about putting the right edition or whatever, but on StoryGraph, because it gives you so many stats, I make sure that I do include if I read it on my Kindle or audiobook or print. Most read author Carolyn Kepnes, because it was her 2 U-books, which I both listened to on audio. One 11 hours, one 13 hours. So it is they are quite long. We're getting up to my favorite part. Yes, okay. I love that this shows audiobook minutes listened, pages read, and books read, because I just think it's so clever. So as you can tell, not really any audiobooks until April, and then I listened to 1,500 minutes. I did read a lot of books in April, and it felt like I was kind of overwhelmed. I don't like reading more than maybe 3 books at once. I feel like that's my maximum where I feel in control. Otherwise, I start to feel overwhelmed by them all, because I know that I'll forget one or more than one. Cool. Mixed ratings. A lot of the time I take a while to work out how I feel about a book, and then I'll rate it later. And that's it. Cool. Okay. That was anticlimactic. So far this year, I feel like my feelings about what I want to read are swinging between really cute, cozy, whimsical books like the Shady Hollow books, even though they're murder mysteries. They're cozy, okay? Bramley Hedge and my folklore and fables, kind of childhood nostalgia almost feeling books. Like, I've been wanting to read Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh, but I've never read it, I think, all the way through. So going between that vibe and then dark, moody thrillers like reading the You series. The main character is a terrible human. He's fun to read about though. Yeah. And A Will to Kill, which didn't really turn out that dark, but you get the vibe and the point. And wanting to read some Agatha Christie. I recently did a big cull of my thrillers stack. Well, shelf. It was a stack as well. Now I've just got a nice little, not so overwhelming shelf of thrillers. I loosely organize my books by genre, and I've realized I have quite a lot of historical fiction and have not read much. As you can tell by this not being starred off. Then, if you are curious in regard to my YouTube channel goals for this year, I feel like I'm doing some. I have grown my channel a little bit. I'm now over 100 subscribers, so thank you to my subscribers who follow me. And I've done a few more individual book review videos, but I know they get fewer views than a video where you have a whole bunch of book reviews together, but I kind of like watching them from other people, especially when I've read a book and I want to know what other people thought of it, and I love watching an individual book review video about it. So I'll keep doing that, and I'll also sometimes smush them together into one, and that's fine. I haven't really tried out different styles of editing and graphics. I am envisioning that more for my vlogs, but I haven't done a vlog in ages. I have a lot of video footage and either I've halfway edited and not finished, or I haven't started. As always, my Instagram and everything is in the description below. Being an authentic presence, yeah, especially when I haven't scripted videos like this one and I just yap on. I hope people vibe with it, and if they don't, cool, and if they do, great, stick around because there's always more yap to come. I had a whole list of other goals, but the ones on my bingo are kind of the ones I just chose to focus on. But I have other authors I want to read, like V. Schwab, S.A. Cosby, Patricia Highsmith, Donna Tartt. There's always stuff I want to read. It's just I have limited eyes and ears with which to absorb stories and books. This is the progress so far. This was a casual update version, but I also have coming a mid-year book freak out tag video that I want to film. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you can watch my one from 2 years ago when I was blonde. I'll put it here and down here. And I hope you have a lovely day. You can find this down in the description. I'd love to see you enjoying it, so please tag me if you do use it, either in electronic or printed form, whatever floats your boat. That's it from me. Let me know how your reading year is going. Have you got anything planned for the rest of the year? Like things on your TBR that you are anticipating reading? Just whatever. Let's have a chat in the comments. I'm feeling chatty, as you can tell. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more bookish content from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Another goal, I want to work on putting up arty, creative and travel videos, so stick around for that. Bye.